Hey everyone, so I have weekly, what's now kind of become monthly makeup bag. Let's just get started because I have so much product in here that it's not even funny. So I have the Love Flesh Blush palette from Too Faced. This was, I believe, limited edition. I'm not quite sure, but it has 6 blush in here, and as you can see, they range from anywhere from pink to that mauve all the way up to coral and then purple. Very pretty shades in here, and they pretty much match the color of the backing behind them, which is really nice. It's a nice mirror inside. Also, I really love this wardrobe. This is all their Love Flesh blushes, but in one little, well, actually, I think they might have 1 or 2 new shades, but this was all of them at the time, and it's so convenient to just have. I think it's travel friendly. I mean, yes, it's a little bit longer, but it is thin packaging, so I could definitely see you still taking it on the go and it being fine. I was also using the Au Naturel palette from Wet n Wild. This does have a sponge tip applicator in here. I don't really mess with that, but I don't hate them enough to throw them out, but I don't like them enough to use them on a consistent basis. But this is their version of like the Naked palette. It has the nudes to the blue. I really love this. I think it's great quality. It's very nice on a budget. If you're looking for a nice little palette, you can get this at Walmart. Not going to stay on this long. The Fiona Styles powder in Whitestone. As you know, this is an invisible setting powder that I use all the time, constantly in my rotation. I love it. Then I was using the Laura Geller French Vanilla Baked Highlighter for a nice natural highlight every day. This is so beautiful. Now that I'm working in a school, I feel like I need to tone down my highlighter a little bit. I mean, I don't think that they would care like a whole lot, but I don't want to be too overwhelming, especially when I'm meeting with parents. So this was really nice. It just adds, I have it on today, adds a nice glow, but not overpowering. Then I had used this Styled by Harouche palette. Never hear anybody talk about this. It has a nice mirror. And then as you can see, it has 6 eyeshadows and 1 blush. The blush is so pretty. She described it as the blush that you'll want to use every day, and it'll become your favorite blush. And then the 6 shades, mostly natural, but you do have this pop of purple, which I think is so pretty, and I love that. 3 mattes, 3 shimmers in there, so it's a nice rounded look. Then I have this Fiona Styles Quad in the shade Topanga. This is brown. I mean, you know me, you know my natural everyday look is brown, and especially now that I work at a school, like I said, great quality on those, but again, Fiona Styles, I don't really know what they're doing, whether they're available or not anymore, so I don't want to talk about those products too much. Strobe highlighter from Makeup Revolution in the shade Moonglow Lights. This is more of a pinky tone. Again, it's a nice subtle light. Strobing, I believe, is supposed to be very brilliant, so I'm not sure why they named this strobe light when it's very natural, but that's the pink version. And then I have 2 Vivid Baked highlighters. One is in the shade Peach Lights, which is more peachy and pink toned. These are definitely shimmerier, more shimmery, whatever, than the strobe one I just showed you. Love that. And also had the shade Radiant Lights that I was using. This is more of a white champagne shade. These are very pretty. They're natural, they're nice for every day, but they're not too over the top. Okay, a couple more face powders. I have this Brighten Up Banana Powder from Essence. This has been talked about a lot recently, and Tati was the one that's been going on about this a lot. It really does brighten up the under eye. I love it. Don't really care about flashback because I'm not taking a lot of flash photography pictures. And I'm using the Wet n Wild contour palette that has the white on one side and the white for brightening the under eyes on one side, and then it has the contour on the other side, but I actually have used up all the white powder, so this will be going back into my bag to use it so that I have it for every day. And then I was using this highlighting powder from Catrice in Champagne Campaign. This is champagne, but it's more of like I don't know, it has that little pink and rose tone to it. So I don't know that I would have called it champagne, but it is very pretty, very natural. Again, kind of going for those more subtle tones. So that was definitely nice to use day to day. And again, here's another baked highlighter in French Vanilla from Laura Geller. These are two samples that I got, and I'm just trying to go through all of my highlighters, so I kind of threw them both in my bag and was using them at different times. So those were in here. Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. Everybody loves this. Kathleen Lights loves this. This is a gold shimmer, and it's very nice and natural for the daytime. So I love that. Was happy to use that again. And another Laura Geller powder is the Color Correcting Foundation. This was in the shade Light. So I was using this as a setting powder all over the face instead of a foundation. I used my foundation and then I wanted to set it with this instead of just using this as a foundation. So as you can, as you can see, there's quite a bit of color there. So when I was doing that, it was coming off pretty dark. So that actually wasn't working. I planned on using this later when I'm more tan. I self-tanned in the meantime. But when I'm more tan in the summertime, I think this will work a little bit better. I have this highlighter from Tarte, and this is the Exposed highlighter. This is very champagne, very shimmery. So this I didn't wear every day. I wore this at Chick-fil-A when I could, I feel like, I know it's kind of weird. It's a fast food job. You would think that you'd try to settle. Nope. I'm like 100% all the time there. So that's where I can really wear color and really wear things like this, I think. So I go all out when I work there. And this was one of the things I was wearing there. And then one more highlighter I have in here was this, oh no, this is a bronzer, sorry. The Wet n Wild Color Icon Ticket to Brazil. This is just a nice natural bronzer. I think it's a little bit light for me right now that I've self-tanned. It's kind of the same skin color, so it's not really coming off too much, but this is a nice bronzer and I look forward to using it more when I'm my natural color. So let me put this stuff down because it's going to fall off me in like 2 seconds. And Alright, so let's get into everyone's favorites, some palettes. So I have this Love You So Mochi palette from NYX. I really like this one because it's nice and natural. It has a purple, a pink, and then a darker green, almost black. It's kind of like a green, black, gray all mixed together. But other than that, very natural, very pretty colors. And this has like that spongy texture to it. It's very unique. I don't have anything else like it. And I love it so much. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. These are pretty expensive though. I think they were $20. So it's really, really good if you can get it on a discount. NYX always has discounts at Ulta. They have the buy one, get one half off, buy two, get one half off, buy one, get one, or buy two, get one free, stuff like that. So always look out for sales at Ulta. That's when I buy my NYX products. The Stila Perfect Me, Perfect Hue Eye and Cheek palette in the shade Fair Light. So very pretty mirror up top, and then you have the two blushes here and then your eyeshadows down here. Now what I like to do is I like to go in with this like cream color all over the lid. Then I like to take this more pink shade in the crease as like a transition color, and then I go in with this darker purple in the crease to kind of really define that crease. Then I go in with this bright shimmery shade there. I believe that is Breathtaking. And then this darker color on the outside. So then I mix up the blush depending what day I'm using, what I'm doing that day at work, whatever. If I want a more natural look, I go with this one. And then if I just want that kind of like pinch cheek look, I go for that one. So it's very pretty. This is a great travel palette. It's great for natural looks. If you're looking for like a wedding look that's more soft, or you're just a low maintenance kind of person, the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Look in a Palette was kind of along the same lines as this, but this is a much cheaper version. So this is great. I love it. I would recommend it. Definitely, hands down, love that eyeshadow palette. And I never hear anybody talk about it. And then I was using my Becca, what was this called? Blushed with Light Blush Trio palette, and it has Wisteria, Songbird, and Snapdragon. So this was out 2 years ago, I think. So it has a mauve blush, a coral, and then the bright pink. I love this. These two I use a lot more because I'm just more of a natural blush type person, so the corals and the mauves really speak to me, whereas this one is almost too much, but I really do love it. Their blushes are amazing quality. They're very pigmented, so you will not be disappointed if you grab that palette. And another cheek palette was the Tarteist Pro Glow palette. Oh my gosh, talking too fast here. So it has the 4 highlighters at the top, 2 contours at the bottom. One is cream, one is blush, then I have 2 mirrors on the side. I was using the powder contour in this palette, and I really love it. I love this outside packaging. It's like that NARS kind of like grippy feel to it. It does get dirty really easily because it's dark and it has that feeling. But I love it. I think it's great palette. Definitely pick that up if you're looking for a good contour and highlight palette. And then throwing it back, I was using the Gwen Stefani blush palette. So this has this is a blush and highlighter palette. Has a nice mirror, and then you have your 6 shades in here. I've talked about this a decent amount on my channel, so should be no surprise. But if you haven't seen it, this is a limited edition. You can't get it anymore, but I have it, so I use it and I show it here. So love this. Not really going to stay on that much more. Also, this was a limited edition palette, I believe, from Lorac, and it doesn't even have the name on it, but I believe this was the California Dreamin' palette, and it's very kind of neutral, a little bit warm, but you have some pretty purple shades in here. Never hear anybody talk about this. This is the regular Lorac formula, not the Pro, but I love it. I love the shades. This is right in my wheelhouse of colors, so I find a lot of good looks come out of this palette. Like I said, never really hear anybody talk about it, but I thought it was fun. The outside packaging is really pretty cool, and I just love this eyeshadow palette a lot. So I was using that, had some great day-to-day looks come from that. Then Rainforests of the Sea Volume 3 is a Neutral Lover's Dream palette. This is all shimmers, so if you don't like shimmer palettes, then you probably won't like this, but if you do, and if you like neutral, natural shades, then you'll love this because, like, just look at it. I mean, every shade that you could possibly need for a natural look is in here, and it's so pretty. And then I have another Catrice highlighting powder in the shade Stardust. This is a pink shade, very pretty, very natural. So again, love that powder. And then I have another one of these Ideal Duos from Dose of Colors. This is in the shade Lemon. So you have this pretty yellowy shade. I don't want to say gold because it's not quite that dark. And then that's the cream side to it. And then down below you have this very shimmery light yellow. I'm hoping you can see that color. Very shimmery, very pretty on the eyes. And I thought this would be too much for day to day. And like I said, I work in a school, so I want to keep it natural. But I didn't wear this to school. But I wore this one other day when I was out doing whatever. And the eye look was so pretty, so natural that I think I could get away with this at school because it's just like a hint of color and it's not too over the top. It's shimmery, which is what I wear every day, but it's not too much shimmer. So I think it's really pretty. I'm going to try it in a week or so and see what I think. But I love these little Ideal Duos, and I kind of am kicking myself that it took me this long to try them, but I did get them at the 21 Days of Beauty sale, so I got them on sale, and that makes me feel a little bit better. So again, I'm going to throw these down, and I'll be right back. Like, you guys will not notice a difference because I cut this so it's all together, but I'll be right back. All right, let's run through a bunch of lip products that I was using, and let's get those out of the way. So I had this Fiona Styles Hydra Shine Essential Color in Luella. This is a very pretty pink, just a very nice look for every day. Then I had this Flower Beauty Barely There. And I'm not even sure what these are, if they're available anymore, but this is a perfect nude shade, just like that caramely shade that I love. And that's the type of packaging. Like I said, I don't know if they still have these or not. I got this when it was sold at Walmart. And then I have an e.l.f. in the nude. This is not like a dry matte, but it does feel more matte on the lips than other lipsticks, and that shade is so pretty for every day. I have this Melted Latex from Too Faced in the shade Hopeless Romantic. This is kind of that caramely nude shade. These have a weird texture to them. I think I talked about that before, but they don't dry down. They're a liquid lip, but they are like a gloss. So they're a thick gloss because they have a lot of that color, but they're not super sticky, but they have a little bit of stick to them. If that makes any sense, then you know what texture I'm talking about, and if not, then you just kind of have to try them at Ulta and see what you think. So I have a Bare Minerals matte lip in the shade Flawless, which is kind of a smoky, mauve pink on the darker side. And then I have this Marie Natty gloss in the shade Tickled, which is just a really pretty pink. Love that shade. Another Bare Minerals matte in the shade Weekend, which is more of a corally orange, which is very pretty for summertime. Then I have Red Apple lipstick in Twist and Pout. This was in a Vegan Cuts box, I believe. Again, a very pretty pink color, good for every day. And then I have the NARS lip gloss in Orgasm, which we all know that shade. And then I have this Kitty lipstick from Bare Minerals, and this is a like pinky kind of nude, so that's really pretty as well. This came in some sort of holiday gift set, and I really love these lipsticks, but I have quite a few from that, and that's the only reason why I haven't bought any full size of those. I have this Stila Glitterati top coat, and it's kind of like an oil, but it has a lot of glitter in it, and you just put it over whatever lip product you're using at that time, and you get that shimmer. And then the last thing I had as far as like lip, those were all my lip products, but this was in the same kind of container, Liquid Moondust eyeshadow from Urban Decay, and this is in the shade Recharged, which is like an orange, but it has green and yellow shift to it. It's a very pretty glitter shadow, so it has kind of a brush applicator there, and you can use it as a liner, you can use it as an eyeshadow, whatever you want to do with it. It's very pretty. You can do quite a lot of different looks with that. So those were out before the Stila glitter and glow things, and they were very popular, but I feel like ever since the Stila ones came out, people kind of forgot that Urban Decay had those, and the Stila ones are a little bit more convenient, I feel like, too. But a good product, and if you see them and you like some of the colors, definitely try them out. The last two things I have are palettes. So I have this Urban Decay, what's this even called? Metal, some sort of metal, whatever. If you know what it is, then it's like a metal whatever. It was out at the holidays. I don't want to blind you because there's a mirror in the middle, but one side is neutral shades, the other side is very colorful, and it's kind of hard to show on camera because there's a glare. But this is very pretty. I find that I gravitate more towards the natural side because that's just what I like. But the colors are right where I feel comfortable. They are jewel tones and very pretty. Those are all shimmer shadows, so again, if you don't like those, you wouldn't like that palette, but if you have that, dig it out, use it, remember why you bought it and why you liked it in the first place, because it's really, really good. The last thing I have, unfortunately, they discontinued and they have a new one, which I haven't picked up, but I'm going to. This is the Clay Play Face Shaping Palette from Tarte. This is the first one, and it has 3 contour shades for the cheeks at the bottom, and then your 9 eyeshadows at top. Now, it does say that you can use these for whatever you want. You could use these in your brows. You could use these shades down here as highlights. Not highlights, I'm sorry, eyeshadows. You really use whatever you want. There's no limits. You can use the larger ones as face highlighters, whatever you want. There's no limit with makeup. But this is a very pretty matte eyeshadow palette. Love it. Tarte's quality is so great in these palettes. I love them. The mattes from Tarte are really, really nice, and I love it. And if you have that, definitely dig it out again. I don't know about the second one. I'm hoping to get it soon so that I can let you guys know what I think, but I think I'm going to love it just based on this one. So those are finally all the products I have. Like I said, it's about a month's worth of products, so sorry this video may be a little bit longer, but these are that's what I've been using, and I haven't been on here in a little bit, so that's why this is forever long. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will talk to you soon.